right, Sterling, thank you. During the COVID-19 pandemic, researchers at Intermountain Healthcare looked into the long-term impact of vaping injuries.
Yeah, as Mary Nichols reports for us today, these injuries can have some significant lifelong effects.
Over the last couple of years, we've been trying to find out what happens to people that have e-cigarette or vaping-associated lung injury a year later.
A new study from Intermountain Healthcare finds patients with a vaping-associated lung injury can suffer from cognitive impairment.
A number of people certainly go on to recover completely, but 39% of people have mild cognitive impairment a year after the E-Valley injury. So normally you might think that this is a problem of lungs, but really people have trouble thinking clearly and with cognition.
The average age of patients involved in this study was 31. Researchers say people who suffer from cognitive impairment are generally much older.
The really shocking thing, though, is that we are talking about young people that don't have a history of stroke and don't have other major comorbidities that you might think would make it more likely for them to develop this.
The next step is to find out what exactly causes these injuries.
That peak we saw in the fall and summer of 2019 was driven by the vitamin E acetate in THC, primarily cartridges for vaping. But we have continued to see patients with E-Valley even through the pandemic, so COVID negative, and still getting E-Valley both from nicotine and THC e-cigarettes.
Researchers say the best advice is to avoid vaping entirely. Mary Nichols for Check Your Health.